What is going on, my friends? Josh and Ashlee here. Hope you're doing super awesome. Today on the Josh and Ashlee Show, the greatest show that you maybe shouldn't watch because it's not that interesting, or maybe it'll be the most interesting thing ever. We're going to talk about traffic tickets because my wife is a criminal at this point. And we're going to talk about entrepreneur families, the holidays, marketing, of course, and a whole bunch of other good things. How are you doing over there?
And crazy customers. Don't forget crazy customers. That's our favorite topic is crazy customers. And it's probably your favorite favorite topic as well. So make sure you put your crazy customer story in the chat so we can shout it out because it's always a good time when we're talking. But I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Well, the end of the year is always a beautiful time to sit back and reflect on all of the whack job psycho Karen customers we had over the year and be thankful for all the rest of the customers that are not like that. So before we, hit record here or went live, we were talking about some of our crazy customer stories. What one comes to mind for you as like the craziest for us with all the different businesses we've ran? And by the way, feel free to type in the comment your crazy customer story because I always get a kick out of these. At the end of the year, I usually do a post about this. What comes to mind, Ash, when we look back and reminisce?
Ooh. Well, the crazy customer where you made the music video with the guy that called you drunk because there were some sticks in his yard. The crazy customer meltdown, wasn't that what it was called?
It's called the Mad Customer Melody.
Mad Customer Melody. Okay, sorry, blew it. But that one was pretty great. I have to say, Kid War Plan Facebook comments, they're not even our customers, so I'm not really dissing our customers. But when you start marketing online and doing Facebook ads, people put the darndest, craziest things and they get triggered by, and so they've called us Nazis. They've said crazy stuff. So if you want to know, just start. Yep, we've been called child abusers, everybody, all the things because of some Facebook ads. But tell them some more. There's got to be some more crazy. We have tons of crazy. Oh, I can hear myself in here.
Sorry, that's my bad. I'm trying to pull up the comments. My personal craziest customer story, I think, is when I got thrown out of a little old lady's house when I was trying to clean windows. And Ashlee and I got married when we were 20 years old, okay? I was a pizza delivery driver, okay? So shout out to all my friends that have humble beginnings because we had a humble beginning. Anyway, so I started getting a few jobs. I go to this little old lady's house, tiny house, and long story short, she throws me out of her house and I have to go home with my tail between my legs, right? Her screen wouldn't come out of her window and she was just so mean, so mean. I remember even recently, I think about this lady and how angry and kind of full of rage she was at her age and how sad that is. But it was an empowering thing. I don't know if you remember that, Ash, but I literally came back and had lunch with you, dejected, thinking there's no way I'm going to succeed at anything. This little old lady kicked me out of her house for no reason. It was her own internal thing going on. Do you remember that story specifically?
Oh my goodness, yes. If you want to see a defeated man have a little old grandma, tell him to get out. Get out. Some other ones. What are some other ones that we have? You had some pizza delivery ones when you were driving pizzas.
I had a lady try to steal a pizza from me once. I got attacked by a turkey, so not really a crazy customer story, but an actual wild turkey chased me and made me run around my car, and it was trying to bite me. So that was interesting. But the lady so Domino's Pizza years ago used to say your pizza was free if it got there, if it took longer than 30 minutes, your pizza was free. That was like their big genius marketing campaign. But that was like already gone, even by the time I delivered pizza. So I get there and she goes, I'm not paying for it. It was more than 30 minutes. I said, ma'am, Domino's doesn't do that anymore. And as I'm talking to her, she reaches out and tries to rip my pizza bag out of my hand. And I dodged it. I dodged it. And then she steps out onto her porch and starts going like this. And I'm walking backwards like, ma'am, I can't give you this pizza for free. She starts speed walking and I'm speed walking backwards. And she goes into an actual gallop. Okay. I had to turn around and run and get in my car and shut the door. And she's standing out my window demanding her free pizza. Here's one of my theories. You tell me if you think this is a good idea. I think contractors, small business owners all across the world would freaking love this, but I don't know if it can legally happen, unfortunately.
Shoot.
See, all the laws are in the consumer's favor. There's not a lot of laws that help businesses. But you know how we have Google reviews and Yelp and Facebook reviews and all these things? I think we need a review system for consumers, for homeowners, for people that are customers to small business owners, right? Because there'd be a lot of people out there with a 1.5 star rating as a customer, people that don't pay contractors, they screw them over, they lie about them, They just play games, right? They play all these games, and there's no recourse for business owners. So for years, I wanted to start like a website called findthecrazies.com or
Oh,
something.
that would help a lot of people because there are just people that are crazy out there.
Yeah, there's tons of people that are crazy out there, no doubt.
Can I tell a crazy story? It's my favorite story. And it didn't technically happen to us. It happened to my cousin's girlfriend, Paige. She works at Costco and she works at the service desk, right? And someone came up to her, babe, you're not going to believe this. Someone came up to her and dropped a packet of like fat, cut off the steaks, and she said my steaks were really fatty, so I want a refund on my steaks. But she just brought the fat back, and so she wanted a refund, and she's like, well, where are the steaks? She's like, well, I ate them. Y'all, there is, if there's fat on steaks or not. You do, And she said also one time someone brought a Roomba back and it had dog poop all in it. And the reason, she's like, it was clogged. Well, yeah, you clogged it with dog poop. You can't do that. Come on now.
What are we gonna do?
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, well,
this is why we can't have nice things.
Big companies, what they do, and on their budgets, they just have a line item for idiot customers like that. They just do, right? So in retail, there's a thing called shrinkage, which means stuff that goes missing. When most retail theft comes from employees of the retail store. It's a whole industry like the anti-theft to keep your own employees from stealing your own inventory, whether it's Home Depot or it's Walmart or something, iPods go missing and all that. And it's so bad because people are bad. There's a portion of people are bad. They have to like budget for their shrinkage. I think as contractors, one of the reasons people are very scared to have really powerful guarantees is because of people like that. Yes, they exist, but they're just a rounding error in the grand scheme of the revenue that you do. The truth is most customers are awesome, especially if you're marketing to more affluent customers and you're attracting the right people. We always say that how you get them is how you got to keep them, right? Same thing goes for dating. If you have a teenage daughter and she's wearing mini skirts to try to get attention, not a good idea. You want to hook them with your brain and your personality and who you are and your heart, not just by the mini skirt, because how you get them is how you got to keep them. So if you only have price sensitive customers, it's going to turn out harder for you in the long run. But anyway, don't be scared to make powerful guarantees because it enhances your offer so much. But I think people are gun shy because they know that somebody's going to take advantage of it, which is true. But in the grand scheme, does it really matter? What do you think?
Oh, I definitely don't think it matters. I think a way that people are fighting back on like TikTok and Instagram is I watch these reels like, okay, everybody, deep, dark secret. I like to watch people make slime. I hate slime, but I like to watch people on like Instagram reels make slime, do crafts and stuff. And a lot of them will do crazy customer reels, and they'll read the emails going back and forth between the customer. And these people are crazy. And I think it just helps relieve knowing that there's other crazy people out there. But I don't think that most people are crazy. I think there's just a few crazies and they give everybody else a really bad name.
Well, I also
There's
think
people that are difficult, but
we also think that it's definitely the other people that are crazy, but we have to be that crazy person to someone, do we not? It's kind of like when I talk to men or men get in a room, they're playing poker, they're hanging out. This always happens. It's so pathetic and silly. People will tell stories about fights they've been in over the years, right? It reminds me, who's the country star? I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I'll ever be or whatever. So men like to reminisce like, oh yeah, this one time back in 88, this guy's running his mouth. And then they just tell this story on how they're so, magnificent and they're this epic fighter. And so over the whole decades of my adult life, I'm trying to think back of all these stories of people beating up other people.
Did anyone lose?
And that's where I'm going with this. So I've never heard who these people getting beat up are. I've never heard of them. Do they exist? Somebody's getting beat up somewhere, right? So it's because people don't tell the stories of the time they were the guy running their mouth and then someone humbled them publicly, right? So I don't know. It's kind of like that, right? You've never been in a fight physically, correct? Or have you? I don't remember. I don't
With my
think
brother, like back in the day.
No, that doesn't count.
I don't think women are just going around getting in girl fights.
Some definitely
We've
are.
been definitely in like some verbal, fights like that.
Do you feel like if you actually got in a physical altercation, you could like have a chance?
No, but here's the reason why.
Wait, straight up, just no?
Oh, I have a tactic for this. I am scrappy. Okay, I am an entrepreneur wife, so I am as scrappy as is hell a cuss word? Because I'm scrappy as hell, man.
I think it's more of a location.
And I don't know if I was already scrappy or if I became scrappy because I've been an entrepreneur wife. But like I have some things. Like I don't want to get trafficked. I know it's not like my demographic is not being trafficked, but you never know. Like I saw that thing at Target.
What do you mean your demographic?
Well, like no one's looking for, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but like I'm kind of on the older age, like I don't know. Anyways, let's just keep going. So when people were getting snatched up at Target, I was very concerned. At first, I didn't go to Target, and I was like, Target freaking needs me, everybody. Target needs me. And so what did I do? I got online, and I like read all of these self-defense mechanisms. That's not the right word.
Tips, strategies. Tactics.
So like I practiced them. I practiced my strategies, and so
What's your strategy? Just pepper spray.
I didn't know we were going in this direction. No, I don't have pepper spray.
Brass
I probably
knuckles?
No. What?
Brass knuckles, put them in your purse.
People do that. I should get some brass knuckles. But no, I don't have brass knuckles. I'm just going to play the crazy element because they said if you put up a fight, you're less likely. And they also said they try to. So I read this thing about people who were rapists and people who attacked women and stuff. And they interviewed them in prison. And so I read everything that they don't look for. If you have an umbrella, you're less likely to get attacked. If you have a weapon, if you are in a busy place, like if you're by the cart place, I always park by the cart place. I know you hate that. If you look like you're crazy or you're going to put up a fight. So if I feel like I'm being followed, I give them the crazy eyes. Don't be distracted on your phone when you're walking out of the store, ladies.
Show us an example of the crazy eyes. So you think
I will eat you for breakfast.
So instead of fighting, you'll just do that?
Oh my God. No, they say run, but I'm not a really fast runner. So I'm just going to be like crazy. They said if you go underneath your car and you like grab onto things, they'll like won't put up a fight. I tried that. I don't fit very good under there. I'm not very nimble. So like I didn't know we were talking about this, but like I am scrappy and I will ram them with my cart.
You'll ram them with
I am always
with your
thinking
cart.
about what I'm going to do. Like when people like have these attacks in like Walmart and stuff, I always think to myself, wherever I'm at, if someone were to attack me right now, what would I do? I feel like a can of beans to the face would suck. And I am going to be so scrappy. Just so you know, I'm going to go down with a blaze of glory. Just saying.
So you're going to do crazy eyes, do the thing with your hands, you're going to scream, throw beans at them, ram them with your cart, and then jump under your car and hold on.
They said also if you try to pee your pants, so I've tried to pee my pants before, scream, yell, bite.
Wait. You tried to pee your pants before?
Yeah, it's really hard to pee your pants on your man.
You tried to pee your pants?
This is
What are you
going really
talking
rogue.
about?
Yes.
Did you say that sentence wrong, or did you actually try to pee your pants? What?
Yeah.
Why would you try that?
Because you need to be ready for these situations, everybody.
Oh my God, that's embarrassing.
No, it's not.
You practiced peeing your pants
So far,
in
I have
case
not
you got
been-
human sex trafficked?
Oh, they would want to give me back.
I'm asking a
Let's
yes
just
or no
talk about
question.
this.
Yes or no question on a specific thing. You practiced peeing your pants?
Yeah, I'm not very good at it.
I
Give me
have
a
no
trampoline, got it.
No comment on that.
Okay. Anyways, although let's be honest, if they did traffic me, it would be people. If you're trying to traffic me, it would be your worst nightmare because my husband is an entrepreneur and he would freaking find you. There would be shirts, there would be door knockers, there would be boots on the ground, there would be a marketing campaign for my face because I help things run here. I might not be the main driver of the entrepreneur bus here, but I make sure everybody's clothed and like a well-oiled machine. So guess what? He would find me. He would exhaust every resource to find me. So if you're thinking about stealing this girl, you're going to have to deal with my crazy ass. And then there's
Swear jar.
There's a quarter. You have to deal with my crazy ass. And then you have to deal with my husband. And he will find you. He will exhaust every resource because I am one of the most valuable people in his company. I don't know where we went with that, but we went there.
I liked it. By the way, I have a very particular set of skills. I will find you, and I will destroy you. No, somehow we originally were talking about customer reviews, reverse reviews, which I think is legitimately a good idea. We got over into peeing your pants somehow. I'm not exactly sure, but that's welcome to the Josh and Ashlee show.
Someday I should tell you the story about how I've only said the F word twice, but I almost killed somebody when I did it. And it has to do with this topic. So maybe that's for the next episode.
We are talking about untold stories today.
Oh.
I feel like you can't open a loop like that and then not say it. So what do you in your adult life, you said the F word 2 times.
Yes.
Tell the story.
Are you ready for this? Okay. And it has to do with trafficking.
I know this story, actually.
Okay. So I was going to the Meijer. The Meijer is in the Upper Midwest, everybody. It's Michigan. It's my favorite grocery store. What for the Meijer? And I saw someone who I thought might be a perp.
A perp?
He might steal me. He was giving me the eyes. He was kind of walking towards me. So I turned my cart, and we're like walking towards the entrance, but he looks like he's walking towards me. So I look him in the eyes, and I turn my cart to him, and I start saying, this is what I'm going to tell him. I'm going to cut you, I'm going to effing cut you mother effer. That's what I'm going to tell him.
You're going to sing this in your head.
This is what I'm saying in my head because I'm going to yell it to him.
Because you're trying to be scary.
I'm going to be so scary. He's going to be like, that is not the woman I'm going to snatch today. So I like turn my cart
Were
and
you
I'm looking
actually
at him.
nervous and scared at this
Oh,
time?
I'm so scared. And I can't, here's the problem. I can't say the F word. So I'm like, I'm going to effing cut you mother effer. I'm going to F, and I'm like, I can't say the word. What? I'm going to get kidnapped right now because I can't say the freaking F word. And so I'm like, and you can't say, I'm going to freaking cut you mother freaker. You can't do that. That's not scary.
Doesn't have the same effect. Yeah,
No.
I can see that.
So I'm staring him in his soul, and I'm saying it under my breath because I'm going to yell at him. I'm going to ram my cart into him, and I'm going to say, I'm going to effing cut you mother effer. Okay? That's what I'm going to say. I freak him out with my eyeballs. Nothing happens. But when he leaves, I get very scared because at this moment, I realize I am not in a good headspace to say the F word. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I almost just got trafficked because I can't say the F word, which I didn't almost get trafficked. It's a whole thing, okay? Someone's going to contact us and be like, this is not how you prevent trafficking. Okay, but so I'm at the grocery store and I'm scared. I'm scared crapless because I feel very weak and I don't feel empowered in this moment. So I put in Down with the Sickness by Disturbed and I'm listening to it on repeat. And I'm getting myself so amped up. And I'm just repeating as I take my cart down aisle 1. I'm going to effing cut you mother effer. I'm trying to say the F word. I'm trying to say it. I can't say it. Then I go down the next. I'm going to effing cut you mother effer. And I'm saying it over and over and over again. And then by the time I get to aisle 9, my blood pressure is so amped up and I'm ready to rip someone's face off. I rip down the corner and I just yell, I'm gonna mother effer. And I actually say the real F word, y'all, twice. And there is a lady there that's like 80 years old getting her pasta sauce. And she goes, oh my God. And I almost killed her. And she was like, she had to grab her like heart and she almost dropped her sauce. And I just was like, dear God, be with me, Jesus. How do you explain that? I didn't know how to explain it. And so I just went to aisle 10 and I said, I'm so sorry. That was not for you.
I'm speechless. And as many jokes as you make about swearing, and I love Jesus, but I swear, like, you don't really swear. You say like little silly words and stuff that we don't even think are swearing.
Oh,
But-
I have a list of
but-
swear words
but
that are
this
okay
sto-
and not okay. So
Well, that
just
story is actually incredible. And I remember when that actually happened, and it wasn't like funny at the time. Like you were actually full of anxiety and stressed out, and you really, and all the
terrifying.
news articles and people being snatched and all this stuff. Actually, even here locally in Texas last week, a little girl was taken
And killed.
by a UPS driver. In like this
yeah, that is so awful.
this really nice neighborhood, not just minutes from where we are right now. So the world's crazy. Customers are crazy. People are crazy. People are hurting. But anyway, you were actually stressed out, but that is a true story.
That is a true story.
You
It's-
accidentally terrified a little old lady, and then I wonder what her version of the story is.
Oh.
People are nuts. I go to the store. This lady comes around the corner. I barely survived. She was going to kill me.
I bet she needs therapy. I bet she needs therapy. I almost rammed her with my cart and called her cuss words. I mean, I did call her cuss words. but-
Alex Short says, this is the best thing to watch on my lunch break. Ashley Latimer has me laughing my butt off. You got pulled over recently too. So I wanted you to explain that. So you're just out of control, running around swearing under your breath. You're breaking the law. And you had an encounter with a Texas policeman. What happened?
Okay, first off, my boys and I were going to designer day at the thrift store. It was 5:30 in the morning, really early. I looked like crazy. Okay, that part is very important. I'm pulling out of my subdivision, and this is probably the law, but I don't know. Have you ever been pulled over for something so weird as this? Is the stop paint on the ground? Like you're supposed to stop behind that line.
Yeah, the big white stripe.
And then there's like some space, and then there's a crosswalk. 5:30 in the freaking morning, everybody. And I'm a little bit over the stop paint line.
Okay.
Not on the crosswalk. I'm kind of in between it. And a cop pulls up behind me. And I'm trying to pull out of my sub. I have not really gone, I've literally gone like feet very slowly. And he turns on his light, and he actually stops me right in the intersection because there's no people. So we don't even pull over. He just gets out, and he pulls me over for that because I was over the line.
You broke the law.
At 5:30.
You broke the law. Bottom line, broke the law.
And then he was saying that you have to register as being a resident, but I'm like, I'm actually a resident in Michigan, and I'm here for business and all the things. But the crazy part of the whole story is well, then there's a guy that came up next to me, and he was past me, and the policeman didn't pull him over. So, I mean, the law must change for everybody. But I got this little card right here, and it's a compliments and complaints form because I did not get a ticket.
How'd you get out of it? You clearly broke the law.
I was actually so shocked. Maybe Maverick was there. Maybe Maverick could help. I literally was like, wait, what? You're pulling me over for what? I thought he was pulling me over because I had a Michigan license plate. Maybe that's really what he was, checking on the neighborhood or something. I don't know. Maverick, do you have anything to add about our, but anyways, you can submit compliments to the police if you would like to sit. So, I mean, they're asking for reviews.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
see
they put
these
the
videos.
compliments
You see these
first.
police videos all over the internet. I think I'm in that algorithmic loop, but they're like everywhere now on all the social media that I see. I don't know if you see these, and I'm torn with it, man. And Jarrett and Maverick. So first of all, I back the blue. Okay, straight up, law and order need to have it. I'm not an anarchist. I think that's madness. But there's something about how some of these police officers are that is extremely concerning. They don't know the law, but so it's like this dichotomy because there's a lot of people just trolling, not just the police but public buildings and the post office, just trying to cause trouble. They take their camera, they freak everyone out, they act really cocky. Yeah, it's my First Amendment right, and they're not breaking the law. They're just being jerks, and then they record these gotcha videos. And so most of the time I'm like, okay, this guy's a troublemaker, but not all the time. There's also tons of videos where there's out of control, psychopath, testosterone-filled, small man syndrome police officers being just completely nuts. And thank God there are cameras, right? Because that stuff happens too. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, everybody?
I do want to tell you that this police officer was very sweet and very kind. And actually, I didn't have my updated insurance or something in there. I can't remember exactly. And he was like, oh, do you want to go get it? Like, he was like super kind and nice. And I think what I think happened, I can't say this, but I think happened is it was like 5:30 in the morning. Nobody's moving around. He was trolling the neighborhood to like protect it. And he saw an out of state license plate and pulled me over. I don't think he'll say that. I think he'll say he'll pull me over because of the. So I think he was doing a good
policing
job.
the police? That's the question I asked. Policing the police.
I think that's a really edgy thing because I think people are amped up and just want to fight for no reason. I think because there's so many crazy customers out there, there's also crazy people out there. You have to be careful. People like some guy just like road raged in Dallas a few months ago and like shot somebody just because he was a little angsty. And I'm telling you, these Texans, they run red lights. It's like their thing. Their thing.
I think that they're just a suggestion in Texas.
Yeah, they are just a suggestion. I'm like,
More
what
of a
the
recommendation.
Yeah, Jarrett, Sean, Jibby, Will, Maverick, police the police. You back the blue. How do you look at all that?
I am here for it. I back the blue. I have some. My brother-in-law is even a first responder as well, and so he works with the police department a lot. But I think that it's kind of like businesses: is you have one-star review that everybody's going to look at and blow up and look at that way more than all the 5-star reviews.
Yeah, because it doesn't go viral when a police officer in a local community like gets the cat out of the tree.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like nobody really cares when they're doing good things because they're expected to do good things. But when they do a bad thing, then it's going to be amped up, times 100.
Yeah, fair enough.
And you have to think of it as a police officer. It's so freaking dangerous now to be a police officer. So I would imagine they are a little bit more amped and edgy because,
because people want to kill them.
That's awful.
People do kill them. And then after all the race riot stuff the last few years and George Floyd and all that stuff, the kahunas to even stay a police officer, especially if you're in like any kind of urban area at all. It's pretty nuts.
Dangerous
because you don't get paid a lot of money to be a police officer.
No.
But there's also the argument do authority jobs like that attract certain personality types? And I would assume yes. I mean, part of the altruistic part of my brain is like, yeah, I want to serve my community. Is that really the thing? Like for most of them, or didn't want to go to college, they didn't want to do this, and they're like, had this built, they got bullied or something, and so now they want to be a police officer. I think that's definitely happening too. Uh, and I have no point to this.
Do
I'm
you
just
think
curious.
that when they
whatever.
do that, like they go to almost an extreme level? When they do come in, like if they were bullied as a child and wanting to have that given authority to where like they don't have to really, not that you don't have to work to be a police officer, but they don't have to, like it's automatically given to them to where everybody that sees them automatically as an authority figure, but that could be potentially some of the police officers that are like the bad apples in the bunch.
Well, I think they think no one sees them as an authority figure. That's why it's all rooted in insecurity. So what they do is they overcorrect, right? Like I think a lot of female CEOs overcorrect. They're like certain, like if you're a feminist-minded business owner who's a female, and if you believe in your heart that everyone's like trying to be sexist and misogynistic to you and all this stuff, even though they're not, but if you think they are, then every person you meet, you're viewing it through that lens, and so you're
I
gonna
mean, look at Miss
overdo
Monopoly.
it. You just overdo it. You overcorrect. It's like just be a human, okay? We're okay. There's bad people. There's good people, but most of what we think people think about us is a total projection that comes from inside of our own head.
There's a mic drop.
Yeah, there's an awesome Ben Shapiro clip about like how bad it is for kids that grow up in the inner city to grow up believing that there's this nebulous threat that everyone hates them and is scheming against them. Because even though there are some people like that, there's such a statistically small amount of the people that they're irrelevant, right? What's more relevant is the mindset of the kid growing up. Like if you believe there's no opportunity, the system's built against you, how are you supposed to succeed in that environment? You can't. In fact, you can't even see opportunity. And so if you're young and you believe that, every single interaction you have is being ran through this program. Because if you think about it, babies are born with no programming at all. Babies have no program. Every single one of us was born with no programs at all. All of our beliefs and values and principles were installed in us, and it dictates how we behave and how we show up in the world and everything we do and the success we have. Like it's an operating system, right? I mean, the only thing we're born with is, a beating heart and like a biological functions that work correctly, but all of our beliefs, which drive all of our behavior, were put into us. And then they change even as adults with social media and fear mongering and rage bait and all the stuff with the news and the media and everything. And like Jarrett said, the nice things aren't as viral worthy.
Hey, Dad, can I interject?
Yeah, please.
I think another thing is that people aren't taught their rights at a young age because we're all homeschooled now, and I know a lot of my rights, but not all of them. And I just remember from first grade up until seventh grade when I got out of school, they never went into like a deep course on like all the amendment and like police, what they can do, what we can do, like. And so I don't think anybody knows what they're allowed to do. So people go out there, act goofy all day. And then police, like, they get themselves in trouble thinking that they're in the right, but they literally have no idea what they're doing.
Man, that's good.
That is good.
It's good. And people are trying to follow the letter of the law instead of the spirit of the law. And what that means is you can be technically right and still lose. You can be right and still lose. You can be a jerk, idiot, troublemaker, stress-creating, negative person to the world around you and still technically be legally right. So do you want to be that person? You're allowed to, but it's just a net negative on the whole world around you. It's super dumb.
Super dumb.
But we should know our rights. I don't know. I don't even, free speech is non-negotiable. Like we have to allow people to say stupid stuff that we hate. We have to allow it. We have to celebrate that they're allowed to do it because if that goes, everything else is going to go right behind it. Which is why what Elon's doing with Twitter is so freaking awesome to watch because he's like opening the floodgates. And he said this week, he's getting death threats and stuff, and he's not doing public appearances right now. And he said, and he tweeted, I think you can tell me, Will, but he tweeted out that he's not suicidal. And all he's doing is taking an app and saying, you guys can just say stuff to each other. Okay, have fun, everybody. That's literally it. That's it. Show me on this doll where my words hurt you, right? Words are not violence. And some people believe that. It's absolutely insane. How do we bridge this?
Do you feel like the words people say, I actually feel like, people are always saying like, free speech, it's dangerous and all this stuff. But it's also dangerous to only let the media tell us how to move because the media is such good marketers on how they, move people with their words. I feel like the media is the one that should be in trouble because they're not.
It's
they don't
the
tell the truth.
business model, though. It's implicit in the business model. The way that media makes money is through traffic. Traffic means clicks, eyeballs, attention. They use a business model called attention arbitrage. What they're doing is they're paying a penny to get you to click something, and they're selling your eyeballs for that brief moment for 2 pennies. Is essentially what's happening. So you will just fail as a media company if you don't get attention, right? Like there's no economic reward for ethics per se. But there is massive incentive. The only incentive is for attention itself. And humans are hardwired for novelty. Humans are hardwired to pay attention to things that scare them more than things that comfort them. People are more likely to move away from pain than they are towards pleasure. These are all just true things, right? It's easier to sell pain pills than it is to sell vitamins. It's easier to get clicks with a outrageous headline than it is with a truthful headline. And so I don't think there's necessarily at all levels, just diabolical plans. But if you're trying to turn a profit as like the general manager of a tiny regional newspaper or something, you have to do it like that, or you'll get no clicks, you make no money, and you go out of business. But that's why citizen journalism is rising. It's getting huge. It's super important, and they can monetize a little differently. There's some really big YouTube channels that do news stuff, like Tim Pool. Tim Pool just had Kanye on, and Kanye
That didn't
walked
go
off
well.
his thing. But Tim Pool's just a guy. He's just a guy, and he works hard, and he covers the news, and he's got his own biases, just like everybody else does. But what's cool about independent journalists is they don't have to pretend like they don't have a bias, right? And so there's certain people I follow that are pretty liberal in their views, and there's other ones that are conservative, right? And then you got the fringes on both ends of
Well,
that.
Tim Pool used to be liberal, but now he's leaning a little bit more conservative. I mean, I would say he's still in the middle there, but
Well, he calls himself a centrist, but what he's really doing, in my opinion, is he's a capitalist. He's a business person. He's making bank. Okay, so what happened was he would make his content, and he started building a conservative audience on accident. Then he said, "Oh my God, I'm an idiot. I need to lean into this." So he's gotten more conservative because it's making him a fortune. Okay, and he's serving that thing. So it's a lot of it's a performance, right? I think if you know that, you can still get information, but still understand there's choir directing and choreography happening with all things, truly, right?
right.
Just like when you said you went to Kohl's the other day.
Oh, got my Kohl's cash.
You got Kohl's Cash.
Oh my
Kohl's
gosh.
Cash is hilarious to me, to my logic brain, because first of all, there's no real such thing as Kohl's Cash. So like, you're not actually getting a deal when you go get your 30% off coupon.
Stop
It's
it.
not real. It's fictitious. It's a fraud. Okay. It's a scam. No, it's not a scam. It's just marketing. But it feels good to go redeem your Kohl's Cash, right?
Okay,
But it's built into their business model. It's not like they're like, oh, we got too many shoes. I guess we're just gonna have to cut. Just got to do 30% off. Send out some Kohl's Cash. Got to move this inventory. That's not what's happening. It's just part of their Q4 business strategy to sell their stuff.
my mom always was like obsessed with Kohl's Cash. She talked about it all the time. Oh, I got some Kohl's Cash. I think I'm at the age of my mother when she started loving Kohl's Cash because I went to Black Friday and you buy stuff because it's whatever, and then they gave you Kohl's Cash of $15, and it's like free $15, right? And then you have to come back.
It feels.
No, it's like if I would have found something that was $15, it would have been free, everybody. Just let's be very clear on how
Okay.
Kohl's Cash works.
Okay.
And then over here it says, you also get a 20%. But what happens is you find something for $15 and then you find other things, and then I end up paying $60. But then I came home with more Kohl's Cash to use next week.
Well,
with
and
a
they know
higher.
that.
I know they know that. Kohl's, you're a genius. And I was like, I lived for this. This is like better than going to the casino for me. This is like,
That's really sad.
why? Because I got excited about Kohl's Cash?
I mean, to me, it's sad.
No, use this in your marketing, everybody. Use some kind of Kohl's Cash idea for marketing because it gets the ladies. Gets the ladies excited, everybody, for the Kohl's Cash.
Yeah, I think big companies like that hire actuaries that do this nerdy stuff with numbers. Okay, it's called the law of big numbers. They know within fractions of a percentage point what's going to ultimately happen when they send out this many Kohl's Cash. How many people come in? There's a portion of people that take the $15 thing and bounce, but they already know how many of the people do that. They know that the layout of the store when you walk in the store is done a certain way. With even the smells, I don't know if Kohl's does this, but this is a thing.
Kohl's doesn't have a really good smell.
there's choreography to getting you in and managing the flow of traffic, and they know the average ticket of the people that buy, and when you figure it all out, they make X amount, and that's how it works.
Well, I haven't went to Kohl's in a very long time, but now I might be a Kohl's person, everybody, because of the Kohl's Cash. So if you are owning a small business and I am your avatar, try to figure out some kind of technique to give the ladies what they want, and they want the Kohl's Cash. So if you could do something like this in your small business, I'm telling you, it would work. It would work because I
Another
love
thing
this,
ladies
and I
want
love the paper.
is flowers, right?
Y'all, we do want flowers. So this week I had this great idea that I was going to trick my husband and tell him it was Sweetest Day because he doesn't do Hallmark holidays, which actually the person who invented Sweetest Day was a candy maker, not Hallmark. Hallmark just capitalized on it. Sweetest Day is in October, so y'all didn't miss it, just so you know. But I told my husband it was Sweetest Day because I wanted to get some flowers. And then we did go on date night, and he found out that it wasn't Sweetest Day, but we were looking at flowers. And I found marketing, everybody. I found marketing in the real world.
I was proud of you because you're like, oh my gosh, they're using adjectives to sell more flowers. And I'm like, what are you using adjectives to sell more flowers? And can you put up some of the flower pictures? And it's small on the monitor.
Oh my
so
goodness,
Jarrett, tell
HEB.
me
This is my
what the
first time
first
at
one
HEB.
says. What does the first one say?
The first one says watercolor poinsettia.
Watercolor poinsettias. Yes, everybody. This is white poinsettias that they dripped watercolor on. That's what they did. They just made a boutique version of a poinsettia that's usually like,
1 penny worth of extra labor created exponential perceived value.
I want one, just so you know. $20, I want one. Okay.
The next one's Bachelor Rose.
The Bachelor Rose. This is a play off of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. It's just a single rose.
Just to set the stage real quick, we're at a grocery store that just sells flowers. Most grocery stores have a flower section. The difference, though, is the language they used on all the flowers was better, which means they're going to sell more flowers. They didn't just say rose. All that is rose.
A single rose.
$5 or however much roses cost. It's Bachelor Rose. Go to the next one.
There's a designer dozen.
Designer dozen.
They just put it together and said
It's
designer
12
dozen.
flowers.
Yep.
So you could say a dozen miscellaneous, 12 miscellaneous. That's bad. Designer dozen
Yeah,
sounds
usually
better.
it just says a 12 rose.
What's
but
the next
a
one?
designer dozen. That's the last one, I think.
Tabletop orchid planter.
Tabletop orchid planter.
Yeah,
so
'cause
not
usually-
not orchid planter, but tabletop. More descriptive. Makes it more valuable, right?
Oh, it was so fascinating because I didn't even know there was such, and knowing my brain, I should have known that it was marketing, but I was like, oh wait, I don't have one of those. I just have a normal orchid. I don't have a tabletop orchid. Oh my gosh. Well, my orchid is on the table. So hello marketing. You almost got me. You almost got me, marketing.
It's just there's so much opportunity with little things. There's nothing magical about any of that. I don't know the numbers. Maybe they sell 11% more flowers by adding adjectives and descriptive words to their descriptions of their things. Maybe it's 13% more. But whatever it is was a lot more money than it took in brain power to add an adjective to the Bachelor Rose into the thing. These things matter when you stack them on top of each other. It's super, super, super interesting. I have a question for you, Ashlee. So if you had $8 billion,
Yes.
$8 billion,
Billion.
kind of like Sam Bankman-Fried. Didn't he have that much?
Is that the FTX guy?
Yeah.
Gone.
I think he misplaced
gone.
it. He misplaced it on accident. But if you had it, what would you spend it on? Just really briefly.
$8 billion.
Yeah. Would you spend it on a boat?
No.
I don't think we have a
would buy
picture
businesses.
prepared for this, but I saw
Getting one
this.
right now.
There's an $8 billion boat. Okay.
Billion with a B.
$8 billion boat. And I have mixed emotions about this. On the one hand, it's like the coolest, craziest thing ever. I love innovation. And apparently this is a real boat that's
Who
actually
is
going to be made.
buying this boat?
Jarrett will look up the different details on it, but it holds like tens of thousands of people and it's shaped like a giant turtle. Okay. It's a yacht. It's this giant, it's like a cruise ship, but it's shaped like a turtle. It's 2,000 feet wide.
Is this a business or is this just for luxury? You ride the turtle
Oh,
for
no, no.
luxury?
There-
Or is it a
it's a
business?
business. It's a
oh,
business.
okay.
It's a business.
Okay.
It's luxury, I think, but
Well, I
it's,
mean, who doesn't want to ride a turtle in the freaking ocean, everybody?
yeah, boats are not good investments, I guess, if you just own them personally.
Do you want to know a fun fact? I was searching cruises because you and I might go on a cruise. You just don't know it yet. But there was the most expensive cruise boat was like 1.8 billion or something, and it was being developed during COVID.
Okay.
But that cruise line went under, and Disney bought it for like pennies. because they were just going to scrap it. But they didn't scrap it. Disney bought this boat.
Can you imagine, like, you could flip, if you could flip really expensive things, you could do one deal and be set for life.
Yeah.
So people flip houses, make 20, 30, 50 grand, lots of work. Flip like a yacht and mark it up. 10
We
million.
have lots of people in our circle who flip businesses.
Yeah.
Well, lots of people, or do roll-ups.
Yeah.
So,
Do you want to describe what that is?
no, do you?
No, you know what it is.
I
more
do
or
know
less.
what it is, but why? Why?
Well, you just flexed it. It's the next best thing. Look, if you have a home service company, like, this is the next how to get rich thing that's happening right now in the United States. I'll just put this kind of towards the end of our podcast, but private equity is buying companies like yours all over the place. They literally have too much money. They literally cannot find enough ways to deploy their capital. It's stressing them out. It stresses their investors out. They need to buy more stuff, and they're coming to Main Street, to brick and mortar service companies like you can't imagine. It reminds me of like Home Depot back in the 90s, whenever it started to scale and blow up, and it just rolled through town and started stomping on local hardware stores like you can't believe. I believe home services at some point will be like that. There's going to be your entrenched private equity owned brands, and there might even be 3 different pressure cleaning companies in the same market, all owned by the same private equity firm, okay? And then there'll be the little guys getting the scraps. They're going to control the pricing. They're going to dominate the marketing. They have an unlimited black well of money to bury you. Now, so that would be depressing on the one hand, but the other thing is that you can make millions and millions and millions of dollars if you prepare your freaking company right now to either exit to a PE or roll up together with some of your friends into a new company that owns all of your companies, and then you exit it for even more. And I'm happy to do more teachings on that stuff. It's a little bit more advanced, but it's happening more and more and more. And actually, we sold our cleaning company to a small private equity company
That was
long
doing a
time
roll-up.
ago.
Yeah.
And flaming dumpster fire of a disaster what they did to our company afterwards. But that's a story for a different day. I just want to help you fix your business. I want to help you have a better business. We're going to end the show today talking about the 5 best things about being an entrepreneur family. I don't know if you're married, if you have kids, but we live very unique lives that people don't understand. Going into the holidays, there's lots of conflict with family and different things, and people that just don't understand. They just don't. And, they can't. They couldn't. They don't understand the weight that we carry, the pressure that we have, the responsibility. We live very unique, different lives and stuff. And
Would you say that the holidays are more depressing or harder for an entrepreneur? Because entrepreneurs love momentum.
Yeah.
And momentum gets really halted between Thanksgiving and parties and festivities and New Year's and all the things. Like, do you think that's like a harder time? I mean, it's a harder time for everybody. Someone was just recently telling me that the reason it's hard is because some people get to the end of the year and they realize their goals aren't met. And so they start to bring drama and chaos into their family so that they have an excuse for the reason that they didn't crush their goals.
I don't know. I think, yeah, for a lot of people, lack of momentum feels awful. Constraint, as Alex Sharfin calls it, right? The EPT, entrepreneur personality type. I definitely feel that, when things slow down. I think all of us are just a bunch of middle schoolers walking around trying to figure life out. And Ashlee and I both believe that adults literally are the same thing as middle schoolers. They're just more sophisticated liars, truly, at the end of the day, right? So imagine New York City with all the businessmen in their suits walking back and forth with their briefcases. Do people still have briefcases? Doesn't matter. But imagine them, they're all wearing backpacks that are like bright colors, like middle schoolers would, okay? Like, that's how you should view people, because that's what they are. They have insecurities and fears. They have public-facing version, the private, true version. They have front stage and backstage, and they're lying to others. They're lying to themselves. They're lying accidentally. It's hard. Business is hard. Life in general is hard. Holidays can exacerbate that a little bit, I think, and cause other conflict.
Layla Hermosi just talked about this. She posted a picture of her calendar. I know you're trying to wrap up, but posted a picture of her calendar, and she posted it on Twitter and was like, "This is how I run a $200 million company." But she went like little mini viral because it was her calendar is jam packed, right? And someone was like, "Yeah, right," and all this stuff, and she's like, "I think I tapped into their insecurities." Like, people don't know what it takes to run a $200 million company, so they make excuses. Or they say, I wouldn't want to live a life like that. That's why I don't have a $200 million company. So she kind of like said, I expose people's insecurities, and kind of talking about how it's like a middle schooler thing. Like sometimes if you expose people's insecurities, that's when they become a crazy customer, or they, become a problem to deal with, or have issues. So it was just interesting. You should see it.
It's
really
super
good.
interesting.
Layla's cool.
Well, if you're not an ambitious person, it's very uncomfortable to be around an ambitious person.
Oh, of course.
And then you have like a choice. You like just sit in the discomfort, or you start throwing stones, right? Saying comments. And this stuff happens in, conversation with family and stuff. But you're 100% right. It's a projection of what's already going on inside that person. Like, first of all, you don't have to apologize to anyone or ask permission to pursue what it is that you're trying to pursue. And all the pushback you get is just evidence that you're thinking big and moving faster and all that stuff. Doesn't mean don't take advice from people that love you sometimes, but it has to be competent advice that's rooted in like a full understanding of things, not just their own fears manifesting. But anyway, do you want to play? We still have about 15 minutes or so, but
Well,
I
we
wanted
need
to
to talk about the entrepreneur kids. Let's definitely talk about that.
we're going to do that, and
Entrepreneur
then
families.
and then I wanted to talk about how as entrepreneurs we want to fix everything. We're fixers. I think men in general are fixers, but during the holidays we want to, give lots of advice, and people want to give us lots of advice. We're going to play a special video that's really funny that makes a point about that. So, okay, the first thing I asked you, Ashlee, a few minutes ago, what were the 5 best things about being an entrepreneur family? And you didn't hesitate at all. You said, boom. You said, boom, 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 boom. And I said, perfect. Let's talk about that. The first one you said was flexibility. What did you mean by that?
Our family has flexibility that if for some reason we are having a hard day or a hard week, we can drop everything and we can just put a pin in it. And I mean, not always were we in a financial good spot to like go on vacation, but like if I needed a respite, like a breath of fresh air, you would just fly me somewhere. You're like, what do you need? You want me to fly you to Michigan?
Or when we didn't have money to do that, we'd just go like to Frankenmuth and get
Yeah.
like a cheap hotel room for a weekend or something.
Yeah. Or you'd say, hey, I'm taking lunch off because I like being flexible. Like if our kids are having a hard day, especially since we homeschool, we're even more flexible. We just stop everything and we have a movie day. We have this or that. We are flexible where we can travel and live. Being homeschooled and being an entrepreneur, we have a lot of flexibility. We can design a life that we want and we build. Now, there's things that we can't always do, but if we have enough time frame and we have enough oomph, we can do anything we want. And that's really empowering for your kids and for you as a family because you can pivot very easily if you are an entrepreneur family. Easier.
One thing I wonder though, because our kids have just been raised like this, I'm not sure that it's possible for them to actually fully appreciate what it's like because they don't have anything to juxtapose it against and compare to. Like they don't know what it's like to just have a rigid schedule of going and being schooled, not educated, but schooled to memorize or regurgitate things and then have the bell ring and then you're allowed to eat your food, then the bell rings and you walk over here. They didn't live in that except when they were really little, and so they're going to have not experienced a lot of that.
I
To compare.
I
don't what?
I
That's
don't. I
what
don't think
happened.
so because I think we set our own schedules, and I think we also are very flexible. So, like learning in our home.
You don't think what are you disagreeing with that I just
I'm
said?
saying, like Maverick feels like there's a rigid schedule. Like him and his brothers are creating a course, and so they created their own schedule, and they try to live by that schedule. So we do live by a schedule. Is that what you mean? I don't. Maybe
The way that we live is absolutely fundamentally, literally nothing like a normal kid going to normal school, doing normal things, which is good. It's good for them. Like, hands down, unfair advantage for our kids to be able to live like that. What I'm saying is, a lot of people that grow up traditionally then experience the freedom that entrepreneurship can bring. They're like, oh my God, this is amazing. I hope that our kids, but I'm not sure that they'll understand how epic it is because they don't know what it's like to work for a boss that you can't stand, who's dumber than you, that tells you stupid stuff, right? To get paid less than
that
you
only
deserve.
takes that only takes one job to figure that out.
Yeah,
I
guess.
mean, and it's an experience. We're all learning things. So
Yeah. Well, that was your second thing that you like about being an entrepreneur family was learning. Learning, because we have a culture of learning. We just learn all kinds of weird stuff all the time, right?
yeah, so our kids, we get this question about homeschooling a lot and being an entrepreneur family. Like our kids are in a constant state of learning. So much so, like they have a curriculum, but then what they do on their free time is they learn from podcasts, they listen to books, they read books, they build on ClickFunnels, like Sawyer's building ClickFunnels, they build courses, like everything that we do is learning. They're in the studio learning how to, like Maverick's doing the switcher, and they're learning all the things and working with, our staff and different things. So we really have a culture of learning.
Maverick, can you chime in a little bit? Like you're becoming like a miniature obsessive learner, like your dad. What's that like for you?
I love it because I'm gonna be honest. I'm the last in our school because we do it by days. I'm the least. I'm behind. I'm gonna be honest, but I'm making up with that in learning in other areas, like listening to Myron Golden, which he's just the best. Listening to you guys, I'm rewatching these podcasts and learning how I can do better switching, and I like it because another thing of how we're making our course and we have our own schedule, which if we have a deadline and I want to get this amount of videos done a day, I really push myself to that. And at the same time, I could just like take the day off. I don't have to. Nothing's like forcing me other than myself. But the thing is, if I do decide to take a day off, then like future Maverick's going to be like, why'd you do that? That was stupid. Like, that was dumb. Because like, I just set the goals for myself, and you guys have really taught, like, I think all of us really well that you want to do what you say you're going to do. And because it's 100% going to be worth it, even if it's hard.
Love it. Mic drop. Well, thanks for that. And we are proud of you. It's important that kids get the opportunity to do stuff so they can be proud of themselves, not just get external validation. Not like, good job, you passed test, you memorized correct things, you may eat lunch now. No, it's like create your own goal, do hard things and achieve it, even if it's something silly. Like when our kids were really little, it's like wake up every day at 5 a.m. for 5 days in a row just for no reason. Just do it. Wake up at 4:30 a.m. Like run for 1 mile every day for 10 days just to see if we can do it. Just little tiny challenges like that.
Well, and our kids use our app. We have the Future Truth app, and our kids use that, and they get points. We don't give allowances in our house, so you get points on our app, and then they can get money, they can get game time, they can get different things. But one of the things is that we really value learning. And so like if they do like a book report, then they get more points. They also can level up on the app. And when they level up is when they read the Bible and they work out and they do something else, so many days in a row consecutively. And you would not be, I mean, it's just amazing to, have them be working out and like, I don't know. I'm just really proud of our kiddos, and I really just like the life that we built. Even though sometimes it's hard, it's still really awesome.
Yeah, it is. The third thing was network. We also get to meet lots of fascinating people from everywhere. Your network is your net worth, they say. You're the average, Jim Rohn, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I think that's true. Birds of a feather flock together. So I think it's awesome that as an entrepreneur family, my kids are exposed to really, really fascinating people. Not just high achievers, although lots of those are in our world and we get to talk to, which is amazing because they literally fundamentally look at the world totally different. So even casual conversation, not when we're making a video, we're just talking, like the things that come out of their mouth are bigger than other people, and they just take it as if it's a normal, right? So it's so huge to be in the room like that, and for our kids to be in the room like that, or meeting other entrepreneur kids, right? And the way they can, like, I'm excited now with Maverick. He's gonna be 16 in just a couple months. Doing joint venture collaborations or starting media companies with other kids and like thinking of different, and the way they're going to learn to grow their own network outside of us. It's insane. And, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm so excited about the community that we get to be around. We get to be around, like you said, high achievers, big thinkers. We take our kids to events, which is like super powerful because they've heard from some of the best speakers, and they're going to continue to learn from the best speakers. And just networking with people that fly into Dallas and come to the studio. Like we also get a different culture. Like we meet people from all over the United States, and we've had opportunities. Like when we went to Arizona to speak at Unlock the Secrets, we went and fed the homeless with Matt Maddox and Caleb Maddox, and how powerful that was for our kids. Like, it's not all about fancy dinners and fine dining, right? Like, these people that are entrepreneurs like Matt Maddox are changing the world. And we have that in the business realm. And then we also have that, like, we know, like, what we call bug eaters, like, like they get to meet Josie and Stan and like Josh Fierstein and all the people that are in his community. We get to meet all these people and they give us different perspectives on the world and on eternity and all of the things. And so it's so powerful. One really cool thing is that Maverick actually got to speak at a school. He doesn't go to school, but he was the guest presenter at a school in Austin. Maybe Maverick could chime in about that, but he was talking about his entrepreneurship journey as a kid, and he got to talk to all these kids. It was pretty cool. Maverick, do you have anything to add about that?
That was an experience because in the email they're like, yeah, we'll get kids around your age. And then when I logged on, and they only said there was going to be a few, there's like 20 like 7-year-olds, and I was not ready for that. Well, I thought I wasn't ready for that. I was so confused. I was like, oh, should I like talk at like maybe like a level that they can understand? And then the more they started asking me questions, I realized that they meant in like wisdom. They were like my age because these kids were smart. They were asking me about like one of the questions that really caught me off guard. One little girl was like, "What systems do you implement to get your war plans to your house and ship them out to your customers?" And I was like, "Excuse me? Like, what is this? Like this is so crazy that." And it was.
But that's
Overall,
because it was an
so much fun.
entrepreneurial school,
It
right?
is an entrepreneurial school. It's like it's like
Yeah.
a charter school. I don't know if it's Elon Musk because it might be. It might be because it's in Austin, Texas. But yeah, some of these
We
people that
got
we
to
met
get
from
him
the
to
inner
do the
circle.
same thing to a normal public school and then contrast the questions that he got from the kids. Because they would not be the same freaking questions if he was in a normal school at all. They'd say,
100%.
"Who's your favorite YouTuber?" That'd be like question number one, right? Anyway, I digress. The fourth thing on our list was travel. Travel. We got a
Oh,
couple
my
minutes
goodness.
here. So travel, and the last one was mindset. We kind of covered some of this, right? Like we get to travel, we get to see cool places because we're location independent. We work on the internet for the most part. Their schooling comes with us, right?
Yep.
We're not anchored to a place, which is pretty awesome. We do travel. I forget how much we travel. I travel about once a month when it's all said and done.
It's so funny. My husband was like, "Yeah." Someone just invited us to come to Arizona. He's like, "Yeah, I've go to Arizona sometimes." I'm like, "We've been to Arizona like 3 times this year." What are you talking
I
about?
forget.
Like you just forget. We've been to Cancun twice this year.
Yeah, we have.
And we've been to Arizona a lot, Florida a lot.
Yeah.
We Nashville.
I've been
Michigan,
to
Alaska.
Idaho. I've been
Oh, yeah, we
to
went to
Salt Lake
Idaho.
City this year. We've been to Michigan and Texas, of course.
Didn't you go to Vegas too, or was that?
Not this year, I don't think. But anyway,
I
let's
can't
land.
even remember where
Jarrett,
you go.
did you ever find a picture of the $8 billion yacht just to throw it on the screen so people can
Yes,
see that?
we did.
Just
He's
throw it
doing
up there real
right now.
quick, and then we'll close out in prayer. But check this out. This thing is 2,000 feet wide. If
I
you
got
had,
some info on it for you. if
oh
you
yeah,
want.
please.
So it actually has amenities for up to 60,000 guests.
60,000.
Yeah.
Oh my
60.
God.
Which
Okay.
I don't even like. It is basically a small city. They have hotels, apartments, condo. Which apartments means more permanent. So does that mean it's like?
Oh
just
my
stay
gosh,
on the
this might be
water?
my dad's new retirement home. My dad
It
wants to
says there's-
retire on a cruise ship.
Yeah, it
Everybody.
says there's hotels, apartments, condos, shopping centers, parks, and other amenities. It says
Parks?
the yacht will even have ship and aircraft ports so guests can visit when it isn't docked near land. So literally, you can go and take another boat and go park up with this boat so you can get onto this thing.
Oh man, can you imagine the systems and the logisticals that you need to have for
Oh,
that?
it's so cool.
It's like a big square almost. I mean, it's right short of a square. It's 1,800 feet in length and 2,000 feet at its widest point.
its little arms must be the 2,000.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's. I mean, I don't even. It's.
So the reason.
Why is it
in
shaped like a
closing-
turtle?
Hold on. So the reason I wanted to talk about this, okay, actually is to encourage small business owners. The reality is like the world we live in, which is insane. You were born in the best time in human history to build a business, control your family's own financial future, despite all the chaos and nuts things that are happening economically and politically and everything else. Like this is the time, and you can do this. And when I see stories about an $8 billion turtle-shaped yacht, okay, what I want you to take away from that is, you know what?
I got this.
If I tighten my belt, if I put my shoes on, I think I can go sell some more services in my local town. I'm pretty sure I can make $1 million. Okay. That is $8,000 million for one vessel. Okay. You can make $1 million. Okay. If you haven't done that. And if you're at 2 or 3, you can get to 10. It's not that big of a deal. You can do it. I believe in you. You got to believe in yourself. But remember how big the market is. There's some Italian company that's sitting around. They're like, we got an extra $8 billion. What should we do? Let's build a turtle boat. A
turtle boat.
Like it's really happening, and it's cool. I mean, it's really cool. I think it's awesome. I'd love to go on something like that after it's like safety tested. And stuff.
2033.
2033? Oh,
What's gonna
gosh.
take
But
a
they
minute.
are starting to sell NFT tickets
What?
this year.
What?
They're virtual tickets to get onto the thing.
A
You have to-
virtual ticket. So you don't even go on the boat for real?
Well, no. Like
Oh.
it's an NFT, so you're not getting an actual thing. You're getting a token NFT, whatever, that is putting.
I bet this is where all the FTX money went. He
Probably.
built a turtle boat.
And you know what? He built a turtle boat. Well, did you see that I know this is opening another loop, but like 3 crypto people died this week? Like,
We can't open that loop right now.
okay.
That's a loop for next week.
Okay,
So-
but maybe they
but I wanna
are all
play-
on a turtle boat and they're giving out NFTs. I
So
don't
we're
know.
going to close it
Let's
out.
hope.
If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a fixer, I want to play a video for you to encourage you to have less arguments with your wife and your family this holiday season. It's not your job to fix everything. You can be right and still lose. If you can get the nail in the head video ready, it's one of my favorites. It's hilarious. It's only
my
a minute
gosh.
long. Go ahead.
It's just, there's all this pressure, you know? And sometimes it feels like it's right up on me. And I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head. And it's relentless. And I don't know if it's going to stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most, is that I don't know if it's ever going to stop.
Yeah. Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there.
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing.
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
See, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail
See, you're
out.
not even listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just, sometimes it's like there's this achy, I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. I mean, all of them.
That sounds really hard.
It is. Thank you. Ow!
Oh, come on. If you would just.
Don't.
Try to see things my way. Do I have to keep on talking till I...
Is that not the perfect, silly, short video to describe life and marriage in 1 minute or less? So when you go to your Christmas party and you're eating your, I don't know, is it ham? What do people eat for Christmas?
Ham.
When you're eating your ham with Uncle Larry and he says things, you don't have to actually talk about the nail. You can let him say his opinions, and you can keep your momentum in your mind and make it back and build your business. I'm excited to close out this year and to start next year. We're here for you. We're figuring out stuff. We got a lot of cool things coming. And by the way, just in case you didn't know, we started a YouTube channel, which is kind of weird. And we only have a few subscribers. We're just getting ready to get it going. But if you could go there and like it and subscribe it, that would be awesome. Or if you're already on there watching it, just like and subscribe. We have a lot of business content that's going to be coming on here, kid and entrepreneur family content that's going to be coming on here, entrepreneur wife resources for all the women married to crazy maniac entrepreneurs that's going to be on here. Just click the button, hit all the things.
I was going to tell you that I also have my own Unicorn Squad link, my own YouTube. So it's like a race to see who can get the most subscribers. You're winning. I guess we're winning, but so yeah, if you want to come follow me over on the Unicorn Squad, it's about to get really saucy.
I have no doubt about
Really
that.
saucy, and you have to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can do all the things. I even tried to like my own thing so I could be a subscriber of my own thing, and I
think
couldn't figure it
YouTube knows-
out.
YouTube knows what you're doing. It
No.
knows what you're up to.
Well, no, it wouldn't even let me because then I had to sign in. I don't even have a YouTube account. Oh, I know.
I thought you did.
No, I don't. I'm just, I'm going to need you to figure that out for me, babe.
Well, we'll see you next week at the same place, same time over the Josh and Ashlee Show. And let us know in the comments your crazy customer story or anything else you'd like us to talk about. And we're going to end in prayer. Maybe we should ask Maverick to pray us out.
Oh my goodness. That's like making him so pressured. And
No, just do a simple prayer, Mav. It's all good.
Hey, ooh, how am I gonna do this with the switcher? Okay.
I can't see on the screen. There we go.
Dear Lord, I'd like to pray for all the people watching this, Lord, and that they learned something and they also had a fun time with all the interesting facts that we just kind of pull up out of nowhere, the rants and the loops that we open. And I hope they are excited about what's coming, and I hope that we're ready for what's coming too, Lord. And I like to pray for the rest of the day, Lord, that we all have blessed days. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. You crushed it. Thanks, Chippy Will. Thanks, Sean, audio team.
Thanks, Jarrett.
Thanks, Jarrett.
Yeah.
Thank y'all. We'll see you next week. Take care.